everyone, I am here today with part one of my summer book haul, and I've decided to split this into three parts. So part one this week is going to be my physical copies that I've picked up, then the next 2 weeks will be split up between my Kindle purchases and also my NetGalley ARCs. And so I actually bought a few physical books during July, and that's not something I tend to do very often. Of course, one of the ones was a given. I was going to have to pick this up in physical copy, and that was of course Harry Potter and the Cursed Child by J.K. Rowling, John Tiffany and Jack Thorne. And this is just a stunning actual spine. I love the spine. And when you take the cover off as well, I just love it. I think it's great. I've actually already read and reviewed this book, so I'll leave a link to the review down below so you can check that out. But this is a sort of a continuation on of the original 7 books. It picks up from where the Deathly Hallows leaves off, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. You need to keep in mind that at the end of the day, this is just a play. You're not going to get all the details that you get in a typical Harry Potter book, but if you read it for what it is, which is what I did, I absolutely love this, and I'm glad that it exists in this world, just to expand my Harry Potter world. So the next few books that I picked up were all basically cover buys. I've read one of them before, so that was a major cover buy because I already own it on Kindle. I didn't need a physical copy, but I just couldn't resist. So the first book I want to show you is Billy and Me by Giovanna Fletcher, and I'm not going to lie, this is the one exception in this part, I didn't even know this book existed. It's not one that I've seen an awful lot about, but I watched Zoella videos and I saw her book club video, and I saw this one, and it's the one that jumped out at me for the description alone. I thought it sounded really interesting and I wanted to check it out. And this one, like all the other books I'm about to show you, are part of the Zoella book club, and so they all have the Zoella sticker on, but the really exciting thing, the reason why I picked these editions up, is because they had new covers done for them, and I loved all of the covers so much. It was so difficult to not go and just buy them all, but I settled on the ones I wanted to read the most, or that I just thought were the most stunning, and stopped there. But I'm really excited to pick this one up. It'll definitely be a sooner rather than later thing, and or even just sat here I can smell it. It smells beautiful. Oh, they smell as good as they look. So the next book I picked up in the Zoella book club is a book that many people have now read and reviewed all over BookTube, but I've never read it. I've never read anything by this author actually, but I do own another book by her that I want to get to, but I wanted to read this one first, so I thought I'll pick up this physical copy since I like the colour that it is in, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And I have got Carry On sat waiting for me on my Kindle, and I want to get to that, but I really want to read this first, even though I know you don't need to. And again, I like the yellow of this. I think that the green one is kind of really dull, whereas I like the red against the yellow on this cover, and I just prefer this cover. Next we have a book that I actually didn't realise at the time, but I actually already own on Kindle. But I'm glad I bought this copy anyway, because it is just absolutely stunning, and that is The Sky is Everywhere by Jandy Nelson. Again, I've never read anything by this author, but I'm really excited all the same to try this one out. I have heard quite a few good things about this book, and just that cover, that is going to look forever beautiful on my bookcase. How could you not buy that? Beats that boring original version. A book by another author whose work I've never read before, and that is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. And this edition is just beautiful. It wins hands down the cover prettiness against the blue one. I love that shade of purple so much. And I'm one of the few people left in the world that haven't yet read this book. But again, I've got a advanced review copy of her next book coming out, Holding Up the Universe, so I wanted to try this out first before jumping onto that, because I've heard quite sort of mixed things about... Oh, it's going really dark and stormy. I've heard really mixed things about the whole issue with her next book and it having a bad blurb before, and I've heard a few mixed things about this, but mainly good, and I just wanted to check both of them out basically. And finally we have a book that I read last year. It wasn't even one of my favourite books of the year, to be honest. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, I think. What did I give it? 4.5 stars? Probably 4 stars. And this was just a total cover buy, and that was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I just couldn't resist this. It is way more stunning than the original version. I'm a very girly girl, I like my pink. And so that pinkness there is just, oh, I just think it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's got pink on the spine, and if you're not aware, this one is about a girl who is allergic to everything. She can't leave the house, she doesn't really have any real friends, she lives with her mum and the nurse, and the house is sort of like barricaded and there's all these different steps to be able to go in or out the house, and she can't leave the house. And it's a really interesting book because it's told in really short chapters, which makes it a really, really quick read, and there's sort of like conversations on there and emails and images and graphs and that sort of thing, and it makes for a really fun and different read. And I feel like maybe my rating of this last year was a little bit harsh, and I will definitely be rereading this physical copy, so probably gonna leave that till next year though, because I like to leave a little bit of a gap between my rereads. So that is the end of part 1 of my summer book haul. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what physical books you've picked up over the last couple of months. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!